biodynamic farms have been some of the most stunning, verdant ones. One focus of this book is Jeff's interpretation of Steiner's agriculture course, upon which biodynamic agriculture principles and practices are based. Jeff understands and explains Steiner's ideas through the prism of his own experiences. But ultimately, this book is a much broader compendium of Jeff's thinking, based on his observations over a half-century of farming. Throughout the book, Jeff emphasizes that the farmer must be a keen observer, continual student, and analytical theoretician. Ideas such as Steiner's can be very helpful guiding lines, as Jeff puts it. However, it is imperative to reconsider and revise ideas based on observation and lived experience. As Jeff writes, quote, "Far from following recipes, we must figure out, on our own unique farms, how to use the guiding lines Steiner offered to find our own individual way." End quote. Jeff's reflections about farming are down-to-earth folk wisdom. He's mentored many young farmers, and with this book, he's sure to inspire many more. I know he has inspired me. Learn from Jeff, and learn from Steiner and Jeff's other guiding lines. But, as Jeff suggests, use the ideas to sharpen your observational skills. Our greatest teacher is experience, and wisdom is readily available from the plants, animals, soil, and microbes that we work with. Sander Elix Katz, author of The Art of Fermentation and other fermentation bestsellers. Introduction. Reading Rudolf Steiner reminds me of the saying, "You can't believe everything you read." A few years after starting an organic farm in Tennessee, I read my dad's copy of Steiner's Agriculture, a course of 8 lectures, in which Steiner discussed principles and practices that later became known as the biodynamic method. I immediately realized 2 things. The sentences and ideas I understood seemed extremely important and relevant, but others made no sense to me at all. I've always lived on a farm, so I could tell this guy knew something about farming. But so much of what he said seemed so far out, I could see why the method wasn't more popular. I visited some biodynamic farms and was really impressed. The gardens were beautiful, the soil was rich and alive, and the farms had a radiant ambience of health. But I figured anyone who paid that much attention to all the details involved was bound to be a good farmer anyway. Told I didn't have to believe in biodynamics for it to work, I tried the method for a year, saw great results, and have been trying to figure out what it's all about for the last 40. Dr. Rudolf Steiner, 1861 to 1925, wrote 25 books and gave around 6,000 lectures on a wide range of subjects. His parents were true children from the glorious Lower Austrian forest region, and Steiner learned from the stories he heard told by peasants while he rambled about in the forests. Geometry fascinated him at an early age, and he got great satisfaction knowing that a person can live within the mind, in the shaping of forms perceived only within oneself, entirely without impressions upon the external senses. As he grew up, he sought to prove that spirit is the agent in human thinking. He hoped that someday he could blend natural science with the knowledge of the spirit. No one was interested in Steiner's inner spiritual perceptions until he met an uneducated herb gatherer near Vienna. His time with this initiate led to a theory of knowledge without the limits set by Kant and other philosophers. It eventually became his doctoral thesis, The Philosophy of Freedom, published in 1893. During his lifetime, Steiner studied everything under the sun, and maybe beyond it, too. He attended the Technical Institute of Vienna, where he studied math, chemistry, and biology. Besides herbal and homeopathic medicine, folklore, and indigenous cultures, his curiosity led him into Eastern religions, ancient mysteries, and many branches of natural science. He developed his natural clairvoyance to a remarkable degree, eventually tarnishing his highly respected reputation as a leading intellectual lecturer in European academia by admitting this publicly.